I usually talk about conversions on Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. So, like how to take there's somebody who's getting your email, there's somebody visiting website, whatever, how to turn those into leads, customers, sales, and profits. But copywriting and the act of generating that conversion is only part of your success in marketing. So going back to, I think he might have been my second freelance client ever, Ken McCarthy, who put on the Systems Seminar, which is where most modern internet marketing gurus learned. Ken taught this very simple formula that's traffic plus conversions equals profits. Traffic plus conversions equals profits. And so if you just focus on traffic, you're not going to have profits. If you just focus on conversions, you're not going to have profits. You need traffic and conversion. And then later, Perry Marshall, who was a faculty at the Systems Seminar, went on to become the world's most quoted expert on Google AdWords and who's a client and friend of mine. He introduced a concept that he came up with along with his product manager at the time, Jack Bourne, which is the power triangle. And so he said, well, it's not enough to just have traffic and conversions. You need traffic, conversions at the right economics, right? So you need to maximize your value per customer. You need to maximize your cart value. Your earnings per click need to be higher than your cost per click. And so it's this tool for thinking through, okay, I'm going to spend money on traffic. I'm going to generate conversions, and the economics are going to make it all profitable. And in all of this, right, traffic is essential. And I know that a lot of people inside my audience don't run a lot of traffic. Even if you don't run a lot of traffic, it's good to know how it works if you're involved with marketing at all. And so I'm talking to you, copywriters and funnel builders. You may not be a media buyer. You may not do cost per click advertising. You may not actually be in there, tweaking the flipping switches inside the traffic system. But it's still essential for you to understand how it works. And if you do any of your own media buying, any of your own traffic purchases, you need to absolutely understand how it works, not just at a tactical level. Okay, here's how to go in and configure a Facebook account or whatever. Because honestly, you can get people for super cheap who can do the configuration for you. The important part is the thinking behind it and how you design, how you strategize the entire traffic flow. And so I'm putting together some BTMS Insiders training. This is part of the Client Getting Blueprint. It's milestone 9. So it's deep into launching your client business and building your client business. But this is about starting to really embrace getting traffic from different core traffic sources. And I grabbed a resource that I'd come up with a while ago. Actually, this was on a phone call with Perry Marshall. He was getting ready for a big event. And I gave Perry this idea, he was trying to explain the value of diversifying your traffic sources. And I said, hold on, let me draw something on my whiteboard. And does this make sense to you? And he ended up using a version of it inside his promotion. I gave him permission to do that. It was great, useful tool, right? And I decided I would also share it here. It's a paid traffic strategy tool called the Funnel Traffic Map. And so I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to teach you how to use it to drive the thinking behind effective paid traffic campaigns, all in this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want more content like this delivered to you. How about you click like and subscribe while the intro plays? These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, before we get into the funnel traffic map, this paid traffic strategy tool, today's sponsor is me, as always, and I want you to check out the first link in the description to the BTMS Insiders All-Access Pass. This is like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training. So you pay one low monthly fee and you get instant streaming access to my entire catalog of copywriting and marketing training. The Client Getting Blueprint is in there. There's a ton of training on copywriting for copywriters, building your copywriting business, building your client business, doing all kinds of different things related to copywriting, marketing, and entrepreneurship. There's actually over 100 80 hours of training now available for instant streaming access there. And I just want you to check out the link in the description to what that is and what you get if you try it out just for, maybe your first month. See how it goes, binge watch whatever you want, see if it might be an ongoing resource you want to keep around, etc. It's it's maybe the most valuable offer in marketing training. And I feel like I do you a disservice by not telling you more that you should sign up for it. But anyways, let's dive in. This will give you a little bit of a taste of the type of thinking that you get when you sign up for BTMS Insider. So I'm gonna share my screen here. Okay, so this is your paid traffic strategy tool, the funnel traffic map. I want to give you a quick tour of the tool. So if you are I will try to explain this if you are going through the podcast episode and just listening, but this might be one of those episodes where you want to check out the video as well. Okay, so what you see on the screen, in the middle, we have this big green funnel, and green because it's the color of money, although this is more of a lime green than a cash green. And what you see is the entire funnel is designed to get conversions. I'm using Perry's lettering here: T for traffic, C for conversions, and E for economics. The entire funnel is designed to generate conversions and do so at economics that make sense. And the whole point of the traffic map is to map how traffic works throughout the funnel. And so what you'll see is on the left, we have a little red loop that goes brand traffic that comes kind of out of the middle of the funnel and pops people back in the top of the funnel. On the right, we have another little red arrow loop that pops people out of the middle funnel and puts them in the top of the funnel. That's retarg or retargeting traffic, meaning somebody has engaged with your content, your ads, visited your website, etc., maybe even opted in, and these are retargeting ads. And so what those two things do, I think that is really important for you to understand is they show you the flow of people coming out of your funnel. Maybe they didn't convert the first time through. People coming out of your funnel need to be put back into the funnel, right? And you pretty much will not build an online marketing funnel that does not have holes in it somewhere. The world's best marketers end up with an imperfect conversion rate where there are people who maybe would have bought, but something happened. Let's say they were partway through going through your checkout process when suddenly they got a phone call and they had to run out the door because their kid was sick, and they had to go pick their kid up from school. And by the time they got home, they were focused on other things, and suddenly they have forgotten about wanting to complete the checkout on your offer. Okay, that's fine. That's why we use retargeting to put another ad in front of them and put them back into the funnel at an appropriate place in order to convert them. Or maybe they got into your funnel, they started going through whatever materials you have on your offer. And they said, oh, this is interesting. Maybe I will do some searching for this brand or this product name or this person or whatever. And so they type it into the search engine. And what happens then? Do you let the Google algorithm or the Yahoo algorithm or whatever search engine they're using, do you let that algorithm dictate where that person is going to re-engage with your funnel? Or do you make an intentional decision of, okay, if they're typing in the name of my book after they've been engaging with content about my book, where do I want them to go? Maybe I want them to go to the checkout page for the book, etc. So these are representative. These arrows are representative of sending traffic back into the top of the funnel. And then really importantly, across the top, there are 6 blue arrows going into the top of the funnel, marked T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, and then Tn, which is the mathematical representation of however many numbers you want to put there. So it could be, T583 could be the last blue arrow going into the top. Probably not, but it could be T583. So the whole point of this is to remind you the power of having a system that is designed to catch the traffic that's flowing out of the holes into the funnel, those who are the most likely to re-engage with your brand, and bring them back into the funnel. And the T1 through Tn, whatever your number of different traffic sources are, well, that represents the diversity of traffic sources going into the top of the funnel. And note here, none of this is hyper specific to some person's funnel design or some industry standard funnel. So this is not necessarily a webinar funnel. It's not necessarily a e-commerce product funnel. It's not necessarily a supplement funnel. It's not a coaching funnel. It's not a course funnel. It is more broadly, there is a funnel that you have in the middle that is designed to convert traffic at economics that make sense, that give you an advantage here. And the best way to make sure that your full traffic system is doing what it needs to do, that you are effective with your paid traffic strategy, is to make sure that you have retargeting, putting people back into the top of the funnel, brand search, advertising, putting people back into the top of the funnel, and then a diversity of traffic sources going into the top of the funnel in the first place. And so I want to give you 5 specific paid traffic strategy tips for the use of this funnel. Paid traffic strategy tip number 1 is avoid a leaky funnel. It's important as you are coming up with your paid advertising program, your paid advertising strategy, that early on you figure out what kind of retargeting you want to have in place. You figure out what kind of brand search campaign you want to have in place so that you're able to recapture that traffic and direct it not to wherever it might end up, but to the most effective place in the funnel. And it may look a little bit different if someone has, let's say just opted in to view your webinar versus they viewed the entire webinar and they ended up on the application page to book a call with you. That may be 2 different retargeting campaigns, right? It may be that the person who's been on the application page already needs a retargeting ad that says complete your application here, and let us know if you have any questions. The person who has only opted in and has not viewed the entire webinar yet may need an ad that says, make sure you watch our webinar before it comes down, or something like that, right? The whole point being that your retargeting traffic, there can be multiple retargeting campaigns depending on where people have been to, and your branding traffic, there can be multiple branding campaigns based on where people have been to. Paid traffic strategy tip number 2, it really builds on what I was just talking about there, but you need to plan your traffic flow. It needs to not be accidental. It needs to not be just, I'm going to put some people in the top of the funnel, right? So you want to set up tracking. You want to set up retargeting. You want to set up retargeting across platforms. You need to come up with a series of rules for traffic. So, and by this, I really mean after someone has entered your space for the first time, and this could even be, someone viewed your ad but did not click on it. That could be the beginning of where you plan a traffic flow, and a sophisticated advertiser will absolutely plan their traffic flow from that point. So someone watched my YouTube ad long enough for it to count as a view, but they didn't click. Well, that's one type of retargeting. Right? Someone clicked to the landing page but did not opt in. That's another type of retargeting. And if you define all of these different touch points and all of these different milestones that somebody could get to as they're going through your funnel, and then you make decisions based on, there's a few different factors involved. If you're doing a $5 per day traffic campaign just for bare minimum search traffic, that is going to look very different than if you're trying to spend $100, $200, $500, $1,000 per day. Because once you get to certain volumes, those things like, click to opt-in page, clicked but did not opt in, that ends up being a fairly significant chunk of traffic. And so whereas you might start with, okay, first I want to get video views, and then I want to retarget the people who viewed that but didn't click, and then maybe I want to retarget the people who visited the landing page but didn't convert, then I want to target the people who opted in but did not buy, and then okay, so the point is you want to be planful with your traffic flow. You want to be intentional with it. And depending on the scale you're planning to get to, and depending on the scale that you're at now, and what different size retargeting audiences may allow you to do on different ad platforms, you're going to want to activate different ones of those campaigns. Basically, the more traffic you're dealing with, the more opportunities you're going to have to control flow at different milestones through your funnel. All right, paid traffic strategy tip number 3. Test 1 to 3 core sources of traffic. You're really, really best off not spreading yourself too thin, especially as you're trying to get started. And so recommendation might be, hey, just focus on search traffic for your initial testing, but maybe search doesn't have enough volume. So just focus on YouTube ads, or just focus on Facebook ads or something, right? One of the big questions here is, what do you know well? If you have just gone through a bunch of training on how to do Facebook ads, I'm not going to tell you that you should go do TikTok ads, right? I'm going to tell you to start with your core source of Facebook ads, and maybe your core Facebook ads are Facebook and Instagram and maybe Messenger ads, and then from there, you define, okay, what other core sources can I identify? But like, importantly, start with what you know well, and start with wherever you can get traffic right now, and just focus on testing this on those 1 to 3 core sources in terms of driving traffic into the top of the funnel. So that's T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, Tn, right? And so you want to start with those core sources driving traffic into the funnel, and trust that your retargeting and your branding campaigns are going to support that. Paid traffic strategy tip number 4, using the funnel traffic map, is to diversify and make robust. 1 really is the most dangerous number in marketing and business and advertising, right? If you have just one traffic source, and like this has happened over and over and over and over and over and over and over again throughout the history of just online advertising. There were, Google slaps, and Google banned people from advertising on their platform, and then Facebook started doing the same thing, and then iOS 14 shut down Facebook retargeting in the way that we're familiar with, and like all of these different events have happened throughout the course of the internet being a major consumer media channel, I guess, where the more you focused on a single source, the more fragile your business is. And you want to make your business robust. And so think about multiple traffic streams, multiple platforms. Think about, okay, maybe it's not just paid advertising. Maybe there's some element of organic that I can do, or some element of PR. For example, one of your traffic sources could be podcast interviews, where you get to talk about your offer as part of a podcast interview, and you go get featured on a bunch of people's podcasts, right? And I actually have training inside BTMS Insiders called the Podcast PR Blueprint, which at least gives you an introduction to how to approach that if you want that to be your strategy. And so this funnel traffic map, as you can see, like I've been talking about paid traffic pretty much the whole time, but it also works if you are using organic as at least one of your traffic sources there. Obviously, organic, it doesn't work the same with brand, although SEO does certainly help with brand, and retargeting is really a paid traffic functionality. All right, paid traffic strategy tip number 5. This is really important. when you are looking at this and you start to build out this more sophisticated system for paid traffic, it is easy to look and say, oh, well, that campaign that I launched on Reddit is getting me a lot of traffic, but it's not getting me a lot of immediate ROI, right? Let's say you used Reddit, whatever. But then you look, and at the time that you launched the Reddit campaign, you started getting a lot of retargeting traffic that was very effective, and you started getting a lot of brand search traffic that was very effective. And if you have a sophisticated analytics system, you might be able to track that back to that. If your analytics system is less sophisticated, you may, well, benefit from a more sophisticated analytics system, or you may have to somewhat trust that that Reddit traffic is contributing to the overall success. And so what you want to do is you want to calculate full funnel ROI, full funnel return on investment. And so if you think about this, like, it's very common in paid traffic to think about top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. And the bottom of funnel is wherever the most easy to convert, highest ROI traffic is going to be. So for example, I may have this extremely profitable paid ads campaign that is retargeting people who've been to my order form, right? So I've been to my order form, I retarget them and say, hey, complete your order for XYZ product, right? And it sends them back to the order form, and that's extremely profitable because the only people that are seeing those ads are people who already went through all of my marketing, my entire funnel, and they've gotten to that page and they were basically on the edge of buying anyway. And now I'm just bringing them back to complete their order. That could be insanely profitable, but it's not scalable, right? Like, I can't go out and find a bunch of people who've already been to my order form without putting them into the funnel, right? And on the other end of that, at the top of funnel, right? It could be all the people who've engaged with an ad or seen an ad, right? And that's going to be very low ROI, very low conversion rate of those people. But those are the people who are eventually working their way through the funnel to that order page, at least the hottest prospects in there, and they are creating the audience for the bottom of funnel retargeting campaign that is insanely profitable. And so you need to look at the metrics of your entire funnel and define, like, okay, this entire funnel, all the advertising money that's being dumped into this funnel to drive traffic to the different places. So all of the cold traffic where they're being exposed to me for the first time, as well as all the brand traffic related specifically to brand terms, maybe around the products, etc. All the retargeting traffic based on people who've already visited different spots in the funnel, all of that together is getting whatever ROI, and it's going to be a lower ROI than the most effective, highest ROI, highest return on ad spend retargeting campaigns, but it's going to be a much higher ROI than the cold traffic. And so there's a lot more that we could go into in terms of the strategy behind all of that. But the whole point is that you have to look at it big picture, and you have to identify, okay, I have all of these different traffic sources and I'm spending this much money on. What is the total economic output of the funnel and this paid traffic program? And so seeing this funnel traffic map, I think, may make that a little bit more useful for you in terms of knowing and recognizing how it can all contribute. And if you do want to go deep into my training, don't forget there's a link in the description to the BTMSinsiders All-Access Pass. I'm Roy Furr, this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Let me know in the comments with this episode, what's your biggest takeaway from this? What's your biggest aha moment? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. There's even a link in the description to subscribe via email, which is the best place to stay up to date with me and get more exclusive content for email subscribers. I will catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.